Well, welcome back. Polls close in just over 15 minutes, and it may be a vote cast in that time that determines the outcome of this race.
That's right. We're joined now by attorney, political analyst Michelle Burton. Now, Michelle, as we count these absentee ballots, it sounds like there's a magic number that could really determine the race.
Well, a lot of people that I've talked to and the insiders think that if there's a seven-point spread by Kevin when all the absentee ballots come in and the mail ballots are counted, that David would be in pretty good shape going throughout the night to make up that difference and to actually overtake the race. So that's sort of the number right there. And Kevin is expected to be ahead once those absentee ballots and all the mail-in ballots are counted.
How does it work exactly? Because according to the Tribune, they had pointed out this morning that you got just over 160,000 absentee ballots. Right. And of those, there's a 5,000 Democratic count above the Republican count in terms of party registration. So it would seem that that would favor David Alvarez right off the top.
It certainly does appear that it would, and that's sort of unusual for a special election, because usually more Republicans vote by mail in special elections, and special elections have tended in the past to favor Republican candidates. So if you make the assumption that people are voting along party lines in those mail-in ballots, then David should be looking pretty good after those are counted. But Kevin also has wide appeal to independents and also some Democrats, because
so we
he's
can't
very moderate.
Right, we can't necessarily make that assumption tonight.
Right. I think they have both run incredibly good campaigns. David's has been a very good grassroots campaign. There were over 1,000 people out knocking on doors on Sunday alone supporting his campaign, and I know that both of them have had people going door to door trying to drag people to the polls to get them actually to vote. Because the problem is, that people actually will not, walk across the street to cast a vote in an election. We send people overseas to fight for democracy all the time,
right.
but they don't want to walk across the street.
Well, as you were pointing out, they had folks going through the registrar's office list tonight looking for those names. I guess it's public record.
Yes,
to
exactly.
see whether they voted.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And people are now coming home from work, so you can assume that they'll still have people out there, volunteers, trying to get those people knocking on those doors and getting them to the polls in the next 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Right.
And of course, this is such a historic election, not just the fact that it's a special election, but we could have the first Latino mayor here in San Diego, and also his age. David Alvarez, just 33 years old.
He's very young, and for what he's been able to accomplish as a young member of the city council, and also generating this much support as a mayoral candidate is actually extraordinary. I mean, even if David doesn't win this race, he's shown that he is a viable candidate. Keep in mind that whoever does win has to start running again at the end of this year in December for the 2016 election.
Right, it's a short term.
Right.
You are complimentary to both of the campaigns, but were there any slip-ups along the way, any uh-oh moments?
I think they've both run some of the best campaigns I've ever seen, and they've stayed out of the fray, really, of negativity, which has been really nice for the voters, trying to put the whole Filner incident behind us. I think that they've both done, they should be very proud of the way that they've run their campaigns in San Diego.
Hold their heads high.
They both should, whatever the outcome tonight.
Michelle Burton, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure to talk to you.
Be here.